and welcome everybody. My name is Anya, and with me I have the fabulous, the awesome Mr.Pixels.
Howdy.
And so I'm super excited to introduce him to you guys. But before we do, let's do a little announcing. So Mr. Pixels is going to be our newest ambassador, and so I am going to be asking him a ton of questions. And you can ask him a ton of questions in chat, and we will be super excited to know all about you. It's going to be so exciting. But yeah, so the theme today is a walk through Dark Hollow. Now, pray tell, Mr. Pixels, what is Dark Hollow?
Dark Hollow is a large-scale personal project that I've been kind of keeping going in the background for a little while. That is sort of designed to kind of refresh and reinvigorate my own personal style. I'm a longtime cartoonist, and a lot of my previous work was tied to old personal events that have long passed, and I wanted to sort of reinvent myself. So I pulled in a lot of different things that I cared about in the world of creativity, like old Fleischer era art, and a bunch of really good modern artists like Macbeth. And I've been sort of breaking down what I love about all those artists and trying to put them into my own work. And Dark Hollow is a storyline that I'm writing to sort of support that process.
Nice. Can we see some of that?
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like dropping some art in?
Let's drop some of the
people, because they want to be part of the canvas. They want to drop, but like, how do we like show them what is the vibe?
So I'll drop the starting point. It has changed quite a bit since these first two pieces, and we'll get there at some point, I'm sure.
Okay.
But the first version of this, let me dig up the file, was this guy.
Ooh, okay. So there's a lot of
a lot of old.
I love the comp. That's the biggest thing I see. Like, there's so many overlaps.
There's a ton.
Like, I love that. I love that so much. Oh my gosh.
So the point of these images was really, like I said, to sort of like start deconstructing my influences and seeing, like, digging out what I really liked about the art that I like, and seeing how I can sort of apply that in a way that feels unique to my own process, into my own work. So this was the first step, and this clearly has a ton of old Disney and Felix the Cat and other Fleischer era kind of influences in it. And then the second piece that was a follow-up to this was Girls' Night.
Girls' Night.
So we have Boys' Night and Girls' Night, and so I wanted to evolve the style just a little bit and try to turn it into something like push it a little further away from the initial source, right? And push it a little closer to something that I felt really special and excited about. So yeah, so this was the first two. These were the first two steps in the process. Now the end point. This is where we are now. Let me find Freddy's final form. So this bear you see here playing video games. This is what he ended up looking like. Let me scale that down a little bit.
I love the lighting in this. This is great.
Yeah, so this is the end point. This is where I started to really feel like it was something that was my own and didn't have so many like really clear influences attached to it. I started to sort of like build the story and construct actual characters that had some, purpose in my head. And the setting started to take shape. So this is kind of where we are now in terms of, the look and feel.
Nice. So you heard it here, everyone. This is your inspo. So you could do it in your own style. You can use like the color scheme. You can create new characters for this kind of world. We're going to talk about the world. We're going to talk about Mr. Pixels' process. We're going to go into all the nitty gritty. But
let me shrink these down so we can So
it's a cartoon night, folks. Go nuts. I love how many people we're seeing. I'm so thankful to see like Yaga, Andy. I mean, Checksor is awesome. He's like new in our Discord community. Ash is here. Creator Boy 15, who's a long time comer to all of our streams. We have Frank here. We have Vince. Vince is another ambassador. It's super fun. I'm really excited to see what people do with this theme.
Well, if we're going to start
That's
the
really
drawings
cool.
now, let me put one more very important element of the story in here. If anybody's interested in knowing what this is about, the story is essentially a whole host of demi and sub gods that were sick and tired of playing second fiddle to the true gods decided that they were just going to toss the real world to the curb and start their own project, right? But they didn't have all the necessary skills and powers to make that happen. So they kidnapped the goddess of souls and started their own little mini Earth. And so all of these characters are sort of the perverse concepts of this. Ooh, let me make it smaller. Hold on a second. Holy cow. It is going to take a while to paste this big guy.
Don't worry, you guys. It's going to pop in. But yeah, no worries. Just Shift T to resize. Yeah. Oh, you got it. You're a pro already.
So this is the pantheon of demigods that have taken it upon themselves to sort of reshape reality as they see fit. We have Coop, who was the assistant to Cupid, who has a rather perverse idea of what love is. We have Dag, who was the demigod of violence, who served under the god of war. We have Abe, who was the god of creatures and monsters, who was basically under the god of animal creation. Subabdu, what's their names? Loom and Ray are the only two prime gods that are here. They're the god of night and day. Sway is the goddess of debauchery. Flux was the original god of chaos, who was imprisoned because he was too scary. Elle is the goddess of souls, who was dragged along for the ride unwillingly. And Bun is the only...
Wait, hold on. Let me get this straight. The original goddess of chaos was in prison because he was too much for chaos.
They couldn't get the world to work with him doing his thing, so they put him in jail. And then Bon is the only sin that came along. He's gluttony, so Bon came along for the ride for fun.
Okay, gotcha.
So we've got the hollow, the little hollow animal people, which is why it's called Dark Hollow, and then we have the little skeleton demigods.
Nice. Okay, well, that's quite the introduction. I love just like how the art style portrays really well. Like, it's really well thought out to like the story that you have in mind. That's really, really nice. It's always nice to see something that's like so rich in story like that.
I've always been all about telling a story. Like that's I spent a lot of time working in industries that are about storytelling. So when I get a chance to do something on my own, that's kind of where I like to go.
Nice. Oh man, I'm really excited by what I'm seeing. These guys are all awesome. They like just jump right on in and try stuff. But
so the scale down, let me see.
It changes like the quality of the image.
Yeah, the resolution's really low.
Yeah, I did make this like a higher resolution canvas, but unfortunately, like when you bring them that small, it's just But you know, you should post this on the Discord.
Yeah, where should I pop that in the Discord if anybody wants higher res? Single player art, I guess?
Put it in, single player art. Just like dump it right on in there. And then whoever's feeling cheeky, go and like check it out. Appreciate what's there. And you can use it as a reference as you draw. This is awesome. So anything you guys want to ask Mr. Pixels, seeming that he is going to be your newest ambassador, just go ahead and put it in either the YouTube comments or preferably the Magma chat. I will be on the lookout.
I love what Wenz is doing. That's cool.
Yeah, Venz is sick. And by sick, I mean like really he's good, not he's sick.
If someone were to be like, yeah, this guy is sick, and then I was like, no, really, he's like very sick. He's been in the hospital for a while. That would be a very weird way to say
No. So Ariverse, if you can't join the canvas, it's most likely because you haven't joined my art space. If you're part of the Discord, you can go to the live events alert text channel, and you'll have all the information there. There's a link to my art space, the canvas link, and the YouTube stream. For good measure, I'm going to take my Artspace link and post it in the chat. Here you go. You can join my Artspace using that link and then proceed to follow to the canvas.
We have a question on the canvas by Frank. Do I have anywhere I post my work? That's a weird question because I'm I'm in a different side of the art world where I've been working. I'm like a salaried artist that's been gainfully employed by various different entertainment companies for a long time. So a lot of my work ends up just kind of going into projects, and I don't post a whole lot. I did have a webcomic that I made for a long time called Awkward Love, but that has since been taken down. Well, it's still there, but I haven't posted in like 5 years because that involved a certain person that I was married to that I'm no longer married to. So I had to change the project.
I hear that. It's all good. But so if they do want to see your work, they'll tune in, I guess, to the Discord, like whenever you
Mm-hmm.
post.
And as this comes along, the plan is to make this into a strip. So as I develop this to a point where I feel like it's ready for showtime, then it'll definitely get posted. I'm probably going to go webtoon or something like that.
Nice. That's going to be cool to follow as you go along with it. Yeah. Wow, I'm seeing so much cool stuff.
This is great.
This down here is like the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. This down here.
It's terrifying.
But in the best way possible. You know what I mean? It's.
Ooh,
I love
see
what's happening
B
here.
is doing a version of Dag. I like that. Dag's one, like my low-key Dag and Flux are my favorites.
Nice. This from Vents, just this skull inside the flame.
And it's coming along quick. It's looking good.
I like the Band-Aid.
Yeah.
It's so cute. Oh, it's on yours too.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
So
I didn't
Freddy is the one citizen of Dark Hollow who recognizes that something is kind of off. You know, he's like, does anybody remember their birthday when they were born? Does anybody have a mom or dad? Where did we come from? Is this not weirding anyone else out? So he's the driver of the mystery. Like, he takes the story forward. So he's getting a lot of hard knocks along the way because he's fighting the gods.
So you just said a whole bunch of stuff that's like really interesting to me. Like, they don't have birthdays?
They don't. They just kind of got poofed into existence because these gods just wanted a world to rule over, but they, didn't have the patience to wait for evolution and whatnot. Which is why everyone is hollow. If you look at all the characters, none of them have eyes. There's nothing in them. They're completely hollow.
Okay.
And so that's
really important to everyone making these characters right now. Like, you have to make their eyes like dark and stuff.
They're made in the image of their gods. Their gods are skull-headed. So
interesting. That is interesting.
This is looking really good. Y'all are amazing. Love it.
I know, right?
High stakes,
so many
lol
of these
gamer.
people are epic.
Nice checks there. I love it.
So when did you first get into art?
Professionally or just into art in general?
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, I've, been drawing since I can remember. I was that pain in the ass kid who, when my parents dragged me to church, I was like pulling out the donation cards and drawing, hot dog airplanes on the back of them. To be honest, when I look back at my work, and this isn't me being like, ooh, I hate my work, I'm a humble artist. No, I sucked. I was terrible. But for some reason, I just never noticed that I sucked, and I just kept going until I stopped sucking.
A familiar story.
in terms of the professional side of things, so I went to college for comic art. I got a BFA in sequential art at Savannah College of Art and Design. And then I stepped out the doors of my school and I was like, oh, wow, this isn't a job. No one hires for this. Ugh. So I sort of like I stealth opt my way into the games industry by literally just showing up on this game. So this game studio, I had a friend who worked as a caterer, and he catered these parties that this game company would throw every now and then. And he was like, yo, like this place every Friday night, they stay after work and they play board games and drink beer. I think that's the only time you're going to be able to get past the doorman. If anyone's lived in New York, you know that every building has a doorman who will like kick your ass if you try to get in. If you don't have like an invitation. But he goes away at the end of the day and they stay after and they drink. So I just snuck in with a 6-pack of beer and they were like, who are you? And I'm like, job, please. I bought beer.
Nice.
So that's kind of how I broke my way into the industry. I did game design for a long time. I worked for a small company. The company that I sort of cheated my way into was called Large Animal Games. Did a lot of casual games back in the days of like Diner Dash and Farmville. so I started at the ground floor. But ever since then, I've sort of worked my way through a bunch of different industries. And yeah, I've done everything from casino game design to a couple small AAA titles by indie companies. I did a lot of, I did work for Viacom Central team. So I worked for all the Viacom connective channels for a good 4 years. Did work for South Park and Dora the Explorer and SpongeBob and Legend of Korra and a bunch of other stuff for their web properties. So I've sort of been bouncing around ever since then, just kind of doing whatever I can get my hands on. I taught at a university on the East Coast for 10 years as well. So
that's insane. Just the teaching for 10 years is like insane. Because like teaching is something I just recently got into that like this year. And just like I can't tell you like how much I love it. And there's also a certain element of like personal growth that you have to deal with when you're a teacher.
Yeah, no doubt.
So like for you to say you've done it for 10 years, I'm so impressed with you. And like that's just crazy. To me, like that's just like wow. Yeah.
It's so the first semester I taught, the funny thing is that the gig was really weird. I didn't expect it because a colleague of mine that I worked with for a couple of my gaming companies that I was part of, I guess he taught the class before I did, and he had a kid, so he couldn't devote the time to it anymore. So he just recommended me for the job, and I got a call from this university. And when they first called me, I was like, no, I'm not an alumni. I don't want to donate money. I'm sorry. And they were like, no. Hold on, don't hang up. We want to give you money. I'm like, what's going on?
Yes.
But by the time I got there, like the first semester was really hard because I didn't know what I was doing. They gave me like 2 weeks to prepare. You know, I had a pre-made course syllabus that was kind of awful. So I had to learn the process on the fly, and I had to learn how to deal with students on the fly, and that was a lot. You're like you said, a lot of personal growth. It was. I think after the first year, I had it right, but it took me a second to get there. Thank you, any of my previous students who dealt with me during that phase, because I'm sure I was terrible at my job.
I feel the same way. Like, so I can't imagine you probably dealt with like a class full of students.
Yeah, I had about 150 students a semester.
Oh my goodness. I do like private teaching, so I do like one-on-one. So I can't even imagine dealing with
they were
150
split between 4 sections, so it was smaller classes ish, but I still had a decent number of students to keep track of. And the one remaining problem from that job is I can no longer remember anybody's name. Like, I don't know my name. I'll forget your name after this interview.
My name is clearly Daisy, and we haven't been. It's not like we've been friends for like years.
Daisy, it's lovely to meet you, Daisy. It's a pleasure, very much. Chexor is in the chat. Said, did you ever get to speak to Matt or Trey? Actually, no. Unless you're working directly on the show, I was doing a lot of ancillary game stuff for them. Unless you're working directly on the show, you very much never talk to people who were actually the showrunners. I dealt with proxies. The first time I worked with anything on the South Park property, they literally just sent me an email being like, get this done. And it included like a link to a pile of Illustrator files full of all of the puppetry assets for the show. And they were and so I just designed a game, and then I sent it back to them. And they're like, cool, thanks, bye. And that's literally the only interaction I had for the first project I worked on.
Did they at least pay you? Do they pay you? Like,
I was salaried. I was salaried. I was a central team, so they didn't. That's how a lot of my experience in the industry has been. All right, actually, it's been extraordinarily unpersonal. I worked on some scene layouts and environment stuff for the Legend of Korra. Actually, mostly for a miniseries between Korra season 1 and 2, and it was the same exact thing. They were like, "Here's a script. Have fun. Bye." And I was like, We had a small interior showrunner who worked, he was our director essentially. So he guided us, but like I didn't talk to anybody who was involved. I made my designs, I shipped them off to Mir, and no one ever talked to me again.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, my geek brain was just like, I'm gonna be part of the cool crowd, and everyone's gonna love my work, and I'm gonna be like, Mir's gonna be like, you will, I'll hire you, and no, not even. They didn't even say a word to me. They didn't care. But it was still really cool. It was a lot of fun.
Oh my goodness.
It's a weird.
That's funny because
industry.
it's relatable.
Yeah.
Like I would probably think the same thing, and then I'd be like crushed for like 20 seconds because I'd be like, oh, okay. That's how it is then.
Luckily for me, luckily for me, when I was working on Korra, which is the one property I actually was excited about, like South Park was fun, but like I thought Korra was going to be my big break. But luckily, our showrunner, Rob, I won't put his name out there, but Rob was very cool about it, and he was like, "Look, I'm just going to tell you, this is not as exciting as you think it is. Just get the work done, please. We have to get this out." So I had my expectations were fairly managed by the time I got there.
Okay, good. I love all this. Look at all this art.
I am loving this piece by B up here. Oh, it's so good. I mean, these are all great.
Yeah.
Yo, who did this one right here? This one right below the gods. I like this a lot. That's super
good. It's got good shape language.
It does. And that's a really good term to throw out, especially when cartooning. Shape language is crazy important.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, these are so good. This one looks like something out of the Where the Wild Things Are. Really like it. It depends. I'm sorry. I'm responding to chat that's in the in the.
No, they can see it. I'm screen sharing. They can see the chat. If you want to read the question out loud and say like the name of the person as well, like that's cool too.
Perfect. I'm used to Twitch streams where I can just be like, yeah, chat, totally, rock on. So Ari is asking, saying so mostly you're doing independent work that they assign to you and give you a deadline. Roughly, it depends on the project. So the work I did for Dora was all web game stuff. This was way back in the day before Flash got the nuke. So we were doing Flash games for Dora back then, and the Dora team was really involved. Like they gave us assets directly to use. Most of the art that I was doing from scratch was environment stuff or some of the small pieces of the character art between frames that they didn't really provide. And they were very involved. But the so South Park, like I said, they gave me everything. I barely drew anything for the South Park stuff. I just arranged objects on a screen and was like, game complete. So there wasn't a whole lot of hand holding to be done there, but that's how South Park churns that stuff out so fast. Their episodes are the same thing, with the exception of scenes that need to be drawn specifically for the actual episode. The vast majority of the assets are pre-made. But then with SpongeBob stuff, yeah, I work directly with people on the 15th floor. There's a big building in Times Square where all the Viacom properties work on. Anything stateside is done in that building, mostly, unless you're in California. So I could just hop in the elevator, go up there, ask them a question, and they would help me out. So yeah, it sort of varies, Ari. It really depends on the crew that's involved or the pipeline, the workflow that the property that I'm working with sort of has established already.
So this person needs help with a hand, so I'm gonna put a hand, but like it's gonna be the worst hand I've ever drawn, but it's like on purpose. I'm trying to make this look cursed. It's like just a mitt.
Where does hand go on this character? Does character have hand? I am confused. This is terrifying. Oh no! Oh, okay, I thought it went away. Ooh.
You can draw too, by the way, if you want to do like your thing like here. That would be nice.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
Just up to you.
I know.
You're so interesting. I love to hear like all your experience and stuff.
Lil, I like your line work a lot. This is really nice. This has got a lot of like nice natural energy to it, Lil. Super good.
I'm helping this person with their thing. I'm adding things. I swear this person's gonna be like, why is Anya picking on me? They asked for it. Look, it needs help, so I'm giving it help. I love what Fence is doing. Fence, why can't I be as good as you? It's not fair. You can't just like flex all over me like this. This is just like so good. What the hell? The heart adds so much. Wait, I need to put it in pink. Sorry, everyone. I'm just in the mood to troll the canvas. That's just what it's going to be. Yes. I love all these, though. Look at how good you guys are. This is crazy.
I
Like
love
this
seeing
right here. Holy crap.
I love seeing a group of people who are like this into it and like feel their work. Like this there's a lot of feeling in here. This makes me happy.
Yeah. People are getting it. They get the vibe. They get it.
Well, I feel like when you're doing a property that you really want to capture people, it's not just about the characters, it's about the energy of the space the characters inhabit. I think that's really important. And if you can establish like a really good clear vibe, like that works wonders in developing. Like you don't have to do nearly as much world building if you can give the world a really clear kind of energy to it.
I agree. Also, I was asked if I could curve the fingers more, so this is what I did.
Let me see. That's horrifying. I love it.
It's a riff on salad fingers.
I haven't even thought of salad fingers in a long time.
This character just is asking for it. I swear. Oh, he likes it. Nice. I love it too. I think it's awesome. We need more of these. Like, I mean, these people are epic. Like Vence is just like flexing over here, but like these people, like everyone is just so good. Like I love being the element of chaos. Like this is great. I love that I'm the element of chaos in this thing because then it's controlled. This is so fun. I love drawing for fun.
Oh my god, yeah.
There's so many times when I draw and it's like a serious study. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but it's like I'm always posting like super realistic, like fun stuff. And it's like, it's great. But sometimes I just love doing this. This is great. Thank you, Creator Boy, for giving me a reason to do really chaotic stuff. This is great. I'm gonna try to help this drawing along. You're drawing too. That's fantastic. I love the color. Violet, like an indigo violet, is so nice.
Yeah, I'm stuck. This is a very old-fashioned way of doing cartooning where you do everything in blue or I am colorblind, so I thought I was blue, but you know what? Fine. But this is a really fun.
It's blue. It's just like a skewed indigo a little bit. But yeah. So you heard it here, folks. You can be colorblind and be an absolutely amazing artist.
Yeah, you just have to be willing to. One of the big things being a colorblind artist makes you good at is taking feedback. Like if I couldn't take feedback, I would never have made it.
Oh,
it's important. It's important generally as an artist too. It's just it becomes an imperative.
It's a good skill to have, yeah. And how to ask for feedback too, like what to look for in terms of like how to ask for it. So a lot of like I have a lot of students who will just like sit there and be like, give me a critique. And I'm like, okay, on what? And they're like, on the piece. And I'm like, no, that's not the point. Like, do you want compositional critique? Do you want critique on your values? Tell me what you were aiming for with this piece and I can help you in that regard, Don't just say, oh, critique this piece. If I was submitting this drawing for critique, I would say I went for chaos. And you would say that's perfect. Right? Mm-hmm. So anytime you're doing something, right? Making sure that you are clear with the person you want critique from, like making sure that you're like, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm trying to nail my values with the studies, critique my values. And then the person knows, okay, to look for only values. because asking someone to critique your general work is like opening up a can of worms because they could say literally anything. It's like a whole thing. So unless you want like a list this long of like things to change, be more specific. Yes. Yeah.
So something I think is really here. Actually, let me put something else. I'm going to put this in the Discord. Is everybody on the board able to look at the Discord or no?
Most of them. Some people, like if they're under 13, they could still be in Magma, but they can't be in the Discord.
Okay.
But I don't think presently we have any of those. I know Hadley is one of those, but she's not here right now. So let's just, yeah.
All right. So I'm going to post three stages for the boys' night drawing, so you can kind of see where I'm going. Something that I think is really important for my process specifically is like you can see my first drawing here is really messy. And I want to show you kind of why I do it that way. So I'm going to post this in here.
Why don't we also, can you go to the second sequence panel? Or wait, go to the third. So the way that you do that, at the bottom left, there's like a little film icon.
Yeah. I'll just drop them there.
Oh, perfect. You already knew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, drop them there. Try not to make them too small.
Studying.
And then I'll show it to the stream. Yeah, okay. You're like really, really good at Magma now. Like you got this.
Add images to the sequence. Yes.
Yeah. So we'll just put those in there. We'll talk about process for a bit because your process is pretty different from mine. So I'm like really intrigued to like, check it out.
Paste, you son of a... Oh, see, I don't know it completely yet. It added it to the end of the sequence as frames. Hold on a second. Let me paste it to the third. Let me do this.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that's my bad.
I mean, I could always just...
That's cool. I am really keen on iteration in my process, specifically because it gives me freedom to sort of like... let me change the scale on this. Just a little bit.
It's cool to see in a row as well.
Yeah, I did this for my students, and I like to keep these on hand just in case I'm ever having a conversation about process, since I did teach for a bit. So as you can see here, like I'm really keen on keeping my initial drafts really, really, really messy. A lot of times when I see like kind of beginner artists, they're like a lot of people want their work to look perfect right away, like really quickly. And I feel like you tend to box yourself in a little early on in the process if you allow that to be the way you keep things going. Like some things, like the little robot on the upper left, like he barely changed at all. But like if you look at the final piece, I'll put the final piece in the next sequence page. Just to, again, so we have like a higher res version of it that isn't crunched all to heck. If you look at the final piece, like a lot has changed here. The dog in the foreground, completely different pose, because by the time I got to the end of my rough draft, I really just didn't like it, and I wanted it to feel different and better. You look at the second, this whole sequence of sketches, the smoke flowing through the scene doesn't exist. Like, you stop calling out my fourth grade self. I still for the longest time, even as a professional, was like, has to be perfect right away. Roar! Like, and that stunted my growth as an artist so badly. When I finally realized that I could just like not care what people thought about my initial sketches, I went so much faster. I like improved like crazy. But yeah, if you track these stages, when you work really, really rough like that, you give yourself access to a ton of flexibility over the course of your layout. Like the shape of the main character's face changed, the little tiger in the background has a different expression by the time he's done. It just feels better. So I'm in this canvas and I'm seeing all this beautiful work, and then I'm here like, I'm a professional, but I'm like tossing this like god awful scribble on the screen. But that's just how I always start my work. Like it always starts that way for me. Because then if I get to the point where I want to put some lines on this and I realize that I don't like a piece of it, it's so easy to change. I don't have that sunk cost in my brain stopping me from making that change.
Just for context, like there has been some, like, I don't want to call out John specifically, but I will. There has been some very interesting art done by John in these streams. I hope you understand. We had one time he drew like oh my goodness, what's his name? We were doing a Dune hangout, and he was doing like that really old pose with Sting in metal underwear. he painted that. So let me just be very clear. Like, you know, you don't have to draw good to have all of this knowledge and to be a good teacher and to be good for this community. So let me just put your mind at ease there, because like even some of my stuff ends up being, you know, not that great, but there's still value in the experience that we have and in the results that we do get, because you have to understand, like, and community, you know, this, we're like streaming at the same time, we're trying to talk at the same time. It's not the same as when we're in our studio with the music that we like on, or the podcast, or whatever we're listening to when we normally do our art, and we're solely focused on that. Like, that's a different thing, right?
Oh yeah,
So
no,
just know, like,
I figured process was important for this conversation. So
oh yeah, yeah, your process is so cool.
I'm loving this panda up here. Oh, these are so good.
I
Oh,
know,
wait,
right?
so who did this little weasel looking dude?
That looks like Sid from Ice Age.
It's so good. I love it. I love that. I love the
I
one
love
next
the
to it.
wonky eyes. I love the wonky eyes. They're so
Chex has
good.
got this pose from the first image. I love this. This is so fun. Oh my god. I'm so happy. This is fantastic. Oh,
Right?
Frank, I'm
Right.
loving this. Ooh, Frank, this might end up being a character in this. I'm not gonna, don't worry, I won't take your designs, I promise.
Frank has been, he loves the, what's that game that everyone's up in arms about? The Hell, it's like the second game just came out.
Hades.
So he's really into Hades.
Hades art is really,
I'm
really
gonna call Frank out. Frank is one of my students, and so I keep getting Hades art from him, and I think you're hitting a chord with him where, like, this is kind of like a style that he might really, really enjoy.
I hope so.
I think what's going on is he's jiving with your
Hell
art is
divers.
what's going on. Hell divers.
No.
Yeah, no, Hades. Hell divers is fun too. Just like, I hear that it's fun. I've never played it.
I have played it. It's complete chaos. I have friends who are horrible people as well, so it makes playing the game very difficult.
Oh man, I really like what he's doing there.
I
want to see more of this from you, Frank. This is awesome. Okay. Whoa, we've got Vince over here starting a second one from the girls' night.
That's awesome. Oh, I finally see,
right?
You started really rough. I didn't know what it was until now, and it's coming along beautifully. Man, I love this.
Oh yeah. I love, like,
where's creators characters?
I made a sketch today.
You're down here with these two?
He's here. Yep. I helped. Remember that I helped with this.
Beautiful, pristine.
I know, right? I love it. I think it's like the best thing I've ever made. Hold on. I'm just gonna put pink cheeks on here because I need that. Also, we need like these things to be like pustules, like green pustules.
What am I looking at? It's breaking my heart.
One of my favorite things is doing like cursed art.
That's really good. I love
you guys, if you have never been to like the Saturday night hangout, Cybernaut loves to make cursed art with me. We once made we had a mermaid canvas, and we made a mermaid, but it had a fish as its head, and a lower half was human. I did the lower half. It had beautiful butt cheeks. It was wonderful. So yeah, if you want in on cursed art with Anya and Cybernaut, hang out on Saturday nights. just have to, swing into the promotion of Discord events real quick there. Sorry guys, I can't control myself.
Let me drop a couple of so when I was working this style, I'll put this in the fourth frame here. So when I was working on this style, I also pulled in some of the other stuff that I was kind of doing on the sideline. So I did a lot of I do a lot of D&D. So I started doing my own characters for D&D games in this style. Ooh. So I wanted to see how the style could. If I'm going to establish a style, right, that I think is mine, it needs to be flexible. I need to be able to do other stuff in it. So like I did a few pieces that were kind of in that style.
Whoa! I love the staff.
Yeah,
that is so cool.
I was imagining that the staff would just never shuts up. It's just constantly screaming. You have this like super happy little skull guy, and then the staff that's just like like all the time. So like, yeah, for me, establishing a style, building a personal style is all about making sure that not only does it work for the property that I'm kind of attaching it to, but it's flexible enough that I can do other work in it.
I mean, these are really cool. I love this overlap here with the coat.
Avoiding tangents
that tickles my fancy.
Yeah, avoiding tangents is really important for me.
Yeah, tangents suck.
They ruin everything.
Have you ever seen art that like they do the tangents on purpose? I hate those.
I hate it.
I hate them with a passion. Like you see Zo taking a stroll through Uncanny Curse Lane.
Who's uses Zo?
I have no idea. I want to check out. Whoa! Yo, check out Yaga's sketch from panel 2.
Ooh, oh, I like that a lot. Ah, you're getting some of the God of Chaos in there.
People in here. Yo,
Flux is a crazy man. Like the story I'm writing for him. Oh, he's a problematic boy. He's done some horrible things.
I love that. He's a problematic boy.
I can toss a couple of things up from my old comic in here, so you can kind of see where my old style was. If that helps kind of understand the transition. Let me dig it up. It's in hiding.
Right.
I hate it.
Oh, it wasn't a discussion with Frank when I was talking about like tangents. He said one example of it being done well is The Secret of Kells. I actually agree, and this is
Kells is so good.
Yeah, they use tangents intentionally because it reflects illuminary Irish art from the medieval ages. So that is an exception to the rule, Frank. You are very keen with that, and I agree. 100%. But usually when it's done on purpose, it sucks. Oh, I'm coming to panel 4. What is this?
This is from my old comic
stuff.
You.
This is you.
It's me. It was all about.
My goodness. It's you. I love this.
So yeah, this was my old stuff. You see, the style is. I still had the little pin, the pinhole eyes, which I've always kind of just loved. But you know.
Please tell me you actually had 4 cats in real life. Please.
I did. I have 3 now, but yeah, I did have 4 cats in real life. Cool, edgy lad. Yeah, he is a very cool, edgy lad. He's a
love these kitties.
So the one in the little pocket is Ellie. Big boy with looking down is Alvy. Then we have Max and Wolfie from. So it's Ellie, Max, Wolfie. They're my boys. I love them. Well, Ellie's my girl, but love them.
So cute. And I love in this one, they're all attacking the hog with you. Like, that's so cute.
Ellie's just planted on it.
Loving it.
But so the full image from that one is this right here.
Aww.
But you know, times have changed. Had to move on, so that's why.
I got you.
Yep. These things happen. You gotta move on. Okay, I want to see what these people are drawing.
I know, right?
It's like so amazing. Good. This is a really fun group of artists. Holy cow!
I know, right? I love this
so
community.
Into it. Ari, this is so good.
And they flex all over us. Like, so I swear.
Yeah, they should. This is that I want them to. Good Lord, if I wasn't in a world buried in really good artists like this, I wouldn't be able to fucking carry. I wouldn't be able to carry on.
No worries.
Sorry.
It's not like it's never happened, but you know.
I'm trying to keep it family friendly. I'm doing my very best, I promise. Sometimes
It's
it
all
just
right.
slips
Well,
out. Sometimes the demon needs an escape.
oh my goodness. Oh boy.
This is so beautiful.
I'm just having so much fun. These salad fingers are just
I don't even know what to say about that.
you don't have to. I know it's weird.
Beautiful.
See,
Love
I
it.
have nothing to prove. Okay. I have nothing to prove. I have y'all, if you think I'm a bad artist, go on Instagram, check me out.
Yeah, well,
I'm just having fun.
now that someone asked very early on where I was sharing my work, I need to do that now because
Yeah,
I've
get
like
an
kind of
Instagram.
stepped into the freelance world lately, and I'm like, oh man, when you've just got a job, it's you don't think about sharing your stuff. So I gotta
Right.
maybe
Exactly.
do that.
Go for it, and then we'll all follow you.
Wens, this is looking great. I love the energy in this pose.
I know, right?
The first Boys Night and Girls Night drawings were very intentionally staged. I wanted them to feel like they had that kind of like unnatural rubber hosey kind of quality to them because I was basing it so heavily on that like era of art.
Mm.
But yeah, as I moved toward the final product, that picture of Freddy there and then the picture of the gods, like it definitely got a little more relaxed and energetic. But Ben's, that is great.
Yeah, Vince is one of your fellow ambassadors. So he is awesome. He's got, when is his next session? He's got, let me go and dig that up. His next session is June 27th at 2 p.m. He just had a classroom, I think.
Okay.
And we have a question from Yaga.
Yeah, so I got a question about the Skull Boys. What's the next situation like? Do they have spines or are they just floating heads? Absolutely 100% just floating heads. Until they feel otherwise. Actually, they're gods. They have a little bit of control over their corporeal form, but their true nature is just essentially like they don't actually have bodies. Their bodies are essentially an imagined construct that surrounds these skulls that are really their actual true form. If you zoom in, you'd have to go, I guess, you can't really see it because the scale is so small. But if you look at the picture of Freddy, the dark hollow image of him standing in the town, there is a skull boy right on the top of the church tower, way in the background by the moon. And that is actually the prime deity that has orchestrated everything. He's the watcher. He keeps track of everything. He's been watching these little guys. And his true form is just an infinite supply of hands. Like he's just hands. So he's kind of floating around in reality, kind of orchestrating things and manipulating the reality they live in. So they all kind of have their own form, but the majority of them are basically just a relic skull full of god energy.
I love hearing all this lore. Like, this is so interesting. It's gonna be cool to watch the development. Like,
well, the funny thing is, like, the way I imagine it feels like it should be in some epic, like, proper comic book, but I really want to kind of just make this like a funnies strip, like a 4 to 5 panel strip.
aw,
Because I love that format so much. But it's gonna be kind of tough. It's tough to make it feel this epic with a 4 panel strip.
yeah. I think you could do like a mix of both.
I kind of want to. Are you familiar with Jeff Smith?
That rings a solid bell.
So Jeff Smith did one of, I think, the most successful independently published comic of all time called Bone. Bone. Okay. It's like the little Ziggy looking cartoon character, and his little Ziggy cartoon character brothers who were in this like fully realized world. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So his storytelling is so good, and his panel layout, his organization is so good that he has a 1,400 or something page long epic book that he made, and it is a full page comic story. But with the exception of like full panel spreads, each page is, oh yeah, someone put it there. It is. Yep. Thank you. Each page is a self-contained bit. So even though it's a full comic,
Nice.
it's still, in terms of pacing and storytelling and gags, it's still organized like an old-fashioned strip. So each page is a joke all on its own, or a beat all of its own. And that is just masterful visual storytelling right there. I'm just always impressed.
Oh, we've got some people in here trying to get in the canvas. There we go.
Let's look at this
So
second
for
one here.
anybody who's new or who doesn't know what we're doing, we're taking all of these like really sick character designs, and you could just do either a fan art, or you could do something from this world that Mr.Pixels has created. He's been talking about lore for quite some time, but if you feel like reiterating yourself, you can.
I'll put the Skull Boys in
like,
their own thing.
So cool. And
so
also, if you're part of the Discord, you can go to single player art. You will find all of his work right there, including pictures of his process. So that way you could see all of that and get some inspo. I'm just loving all, like, oh my goodness. I like look away for 10 seconds. I look back and there's like a full thing here, like done. I'm so impressed.
So I put the Skull Boys at higher res in one of the tabs.
Okay, Creative Boy has help. He's got help. Yay!
Salad Fingers is getting a
there's a part 2 to the cursed drawing.
beautiful.
And somebody is helping him do a pointy finger.
I
love that.
No.
I love that. That's so good. Now, like panel 2.
Yeah, I'm looking
panel
at
2. Come on.
I'm there.
It's so good, right? It's so good. Like that. I say this a lot on stream, but that makes me uncomfortable, and I love it. I'm uncomfortable, but it's great. It's like, this is meant to make me feel uncomfortable. I think that's on purpose. There's no way this isn't on purpose.
I'm working on a little game project with some of my ex-students. And I'm just gonna keep adding things to tabs here, apparently.
Oh my gosh. Yaga, my dearest. Can I go on a layer below yours and paint with you? Hell yeah. Okay, let's go. Match made in heaven. There we go. All right, I'm going to put my layer all the way at the bottom. And then I'm actually going to take this seriously. Don't worry. I won't do cursed art on top of your beautiful thing.
I'm putting some cursed art in one of the tabs. So I'm doing a game project with some of my old students. Pardon me. And I wanted to make some of these character designs like super cursed. So that's just for fun in there. Some cursed characters.
Nice. Let's check it out. I'll be right back. Oh, Yaga. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Oh, yo, this is so good. Dude, I didn't know you could do this stuff. Like, this is sick. Oh, this face.
I worked in, like I said, I worked in animation and comics for a long time. So style matching is really a big part of that.
Wow.
But I wanted to establish a really unique style for my students to try to follow along with. And this cat right here is my concept for the Cat King character, and he is horrendously cursed, and I love him so much.
He's looking in totally opposite directions. Like, that's so good. I love it so much. Look at this feisty little bugger right up there.
That's the one they chose for the Cat King. They went with him. They went with the little guy on the mechanical cat tree.
Okay, I know this one.
I agree. That's what I thought too. But you know what? Fine, whatever.
And then like this little guy. I need a plushie of this little guy. Thank you very much.
He's he's the succulent knight. There's a knight for every kingdom, and he's the knight for the succulent kingdom.
That's fantastic. Okay. So I'm gonna paint this with Yaga. I don't want the sketch getting lost. But basically I'm just gonna shade it. so that the light source is the head.
Yep.
So I'm gonna, yeah.
I don't know if you noticed in the original drawing, but his smoke is actually coming from his pipe. It's not generated by a skull.
Oh, that's cool.
He's the one that breaks the rule.
Yo.
Yeah.
This is really fun. I really love your sketch, Yaga. Like, I love your sketch. When I saw it, like, I don't know if you saw on the stream, but I like gasped. I was like, oh, this is amazing.
And B's over here doing character studies. This is really nice.
Nice. There's Andy over there also doing like his black and white thing. Andy's been growing so much. It's unbelievable. Let's check out B. Hold on. Aww. I love it.
You like Sway?
Everyone's doing so good. There's so much activity right now. It's amazing. Yeah, Sway is pretty.
You know, I really enjoyed the process of trying to figure Sway out because I wanted to make a really
I was there.
character. Oh yeah, you were there for Sway, weren't you?
I was there. We were hanging out and you were like drawing it. And I was like, dang.
It's like they don't have flesh or bone, right? But they can sort of fill in their outfits, right?
You
like
made it feel like she's like, you know, like she's very sensual. It's pretty.
Yeah, I mean she's the goddess of, well, I'd call her seduction, I guess. So she and Coop both served under Cupid. And they were just elements of love, but they were like really awful toxic elements of love. Like Coop is basically the god of seduction, but in the obsession side of things. And Sway is the goddess of seduction, but in the like bad decisions, doing things on impulse side of things. And they were sick and tired of like being stuck making relationships happen because boo, boring. So they left, and without the guidance of Cupid, they are monstrous characters. Monstrous.
Aw.
Yeah, Coop is basically like he makes all the stalkers. And Loom doesn't even know he's here because he's always asleep, and Ray just dragged him along with him when he left.
I hope I didn't chase Yaga off of her own sketch. I'm not seeing her in the panel anymore. Oh, she's in the panel. She's just not drawing anymore. Okay.
Gotcha. Oh, this is cool. This has got some fun energy to it. Who's working on this one? I don't see a tag popping up. Ari. Man, Ari, you're
sometimes good. They like start to work on other stuff.
This has like amazing sticker energy to it. That'll make a great sticker. Apologies.
I know you're good. We didn't hear anything.
I just burped. I just ate. I had a barbecue. It's a holiday. I'm full of meat right now. I'm so tired. I'm sweating.
Oh, happy Memorial Day, everybody who celebrates Memorial Day. Sorry, I'm Canadian, so I had no idea. I feel really bad for Mr.Pixels because I scheduled him for today and I didn't even know it was Memorial Day. And then I'm texting him earlier today and I'm like, hey, are you getting ready, excited for the stream? And he's like, oh, I guess I should get home for that. Oh, poor thing. He was at a barbecue. I ruined his barbecue. Sad.
Actually, kind of.
Sorry.
Not even a gag. I kind of like this one. This is actually kind of coming out nice.
Really? Like
I'm sorry. It's. I know it's supposed to be cursed, but I'm kind of like, this works. I'm okay with it.
Well, I love cursed art. Like cursed art is the funnest thing to do. Like one of my favorite things. We were doing this like serious course called Understanding Textures, and the final piece of work on that was because we were studying how to like put hair on stuff, so like stubble, hair, fur, all kinds of stuff. And so our teacher had us draw a hairless cat and then put different hair on it. So I showed up to like the final thing and I was like, hey guys, I have my hairless cat. I'm gonna do this right now. You guys each of you get to pick like what kind of hair is going to be on this thing. And they chose ear hair, a French man's mustache, butt stubble, and a butt mole. So I put all of that
butt mole,
stuff on
I'm
there.
assuming.
And it is just the funniest thing ever. I loved working on it so much.
You unknowingly drew one of my professors from school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. A wrinkly old,
you know what? That tracks.
A wrinkly old hairless
Knowing
thing
you,
with a
that
big French
tracks, yeah.
mustache. I don't know for sure about the butt stubble, but you know what? I'm going to assume it was there.
I'm going to count that as a good thing that you didn't know it was there.
I didn't have to kiss stubbly butt to make it through school.
Right. I was going to make it warm fire, but now I'm going to make it cold fire. So I'm going to put purple accents.
So a lot of characters in comics and animation that don't have kind of naturally expressive faces, they tend to have some kind of an expressive analog to give emotion to their states of mind, which I've always kind of liked as kind of a visual language for emoting. And for these guys, their emotive states are definitely expressed in their flame.
Nice. So what would blue be?
So the color isn't necessarily the biggest part of the emotional state. It's the shape. It's the energy of the fire.
Oh, cool. Shape language plug.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I'm just like, yo, this shape, yo, Yaga, this is so cool. I love what you did. I'm absolutely in love with the sketch, and I'm honored that you let me like paint it. It's gonna look bad for a while, and then it'll look good all of a sudden, because yeah, the first bit is just blocking stuff in.
So I don't think I got it quite right, but for the Dark Hollow Pantheon, all these flames that I drew around their heads were much more about illustrating their character and how they what they're about. So for Abe, I really wanted to do something that felt like kind of like natural and organic and squishy. For Loom, I wanted it to feel like a fluffy cloud you could sleep on. For Ray, I wanted it to feel like the sun's energy. For Coop, I wanted it to feel like a little sickly and unhealthy, but also kind of still put a drop of passion in there. So there was a lot of stuff that I was trying to do with these flames on these characters. It's close. It's close. I don't know if Dag's flame really feels as violent as I feel like it should, but it still looks good, so I ended up going with it. Sway has that kind of hint of vanity where it's definitely kind of like part of her ensemble. Like Flux is just chaotic and doesn't follow any of the rules, So I like doing that. I like putting expression in things that don't necessarily have expression, by nature. This second panel is starting to look really cool.
I mean, you push stuff. Like that's what cartoonists do. They simplify and then they push. And it's amazing. I'm going to be like definitely showing up to your classrooms like when you do them. Like if you decide to do them.
Yeah, I'm sure. I haven't taught for a whole semester. I missed a whole semester since I moved, and I miss it. So I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, and it's just 90 minutes a month. So we'll find you a time slot, and then you can go ham. And then yeah, I'm definitely super excited. I try to make all of the ambassadors live streams. I've been like crazy busy lately, but I'm trying to carve out more time so I can make all of them.
If you don't come to my class,
I'm always so your first class.
I'm gonna tell all my friends how awful you are. I can already feel the pain coming. I can feel it. It's on the horizon.
Oh my
God! I can see it.
Oh, we've been friends for a while now, guys. He's just messing with me. So no, on your first classroom, I will be live streaming with you just to kind of like get your bearings going. Even though like I don't feel you personally need it, I'll still be there because it'll be fun. And then from there you're pretty much on your own, and you know what you'll do is you'll pick out a topic, and then you'll let me know like what the title is, and I'll just change it all over YouTube for you, and then in the Discord too, and then everyone else can get super excited about what you're going to teach and mark it on their calendar and save the date, and yeah.
This is really cool.
That came out really weird, but whatever.
You can try like save the day, you know? It'll be like a little party. I'm just I can't stop looking at this art. You guys are great. I might actually try to keep the Dark Hollow theme going for at least the first few classes, just to sort of like use this as an opportunity to push my ideas a little bit, because you know
like what's amazing is even like, dude, even like if you develop some of the stuff on screen and talk about your process, that's good too. Like, it's really interesting that you have a personal project that you're doing, because it's everyone will get so inspired by that. I mean, there's some people in this community that dream of doing this stuff, so you'll definitely get asked a ton of questions.
It'd be fun to help. Like, also, I love doing lore building with people around, because having other people to sort of bounce ideas off of is always helpful when I'm coming up with ideas for characters or settings. Like, I really love having input. Live input specifically is really good, especially since I'll be doing these characters and someone can be like, excuse me, you're using the wrong color again. And I'll be like, ha, 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 I quit.
Yeah. You know what I love about a live internet audience? They're brutal.
Oh yeah.
So it's like they'll tell you, because like if you ask your friend, I made this art, what does it look like? Do you like it? They'll be like, yeah, I love it. But like if you ask the internet, they'll be like, no, it's crap. Go fix it.
So
it sucks.
One of my classes was a game design class, which is not an art class, more of a documentation and concept course. And the classes usually had a nice big break somewhere in the middle, and every time I tried to organize it so the testing phase for these games always fell on those holidays, because I wanted the students to be able to take their work home and test it with some people who haven't seen it before. But the one rule was always, do not let your parents test this game, because their job is to say, it's so good. I'm so proud of you. Oh my God. Look at my little boy and all the fun creative stuff he's doing. You're going to be so popular. Like, that's their job. And you don't want that. What you want to do is hand this thing to a kid. If you're going home for Thanksgiving and you know there's going to be a kid's table, just plop the game in front of them and have them play it, because they will tear you to shreds.
Mercilessly.
Horrible people, children, all of them. Every child is terrible.
Yep.
They're all a mistake. They're a beautiful, wonderful mistake.
No, they're not a mistake. I have a child. He's wonderful. He's not a mistake, but he's
brutal. Yeah, I guarantee you, no child is not brutal. Even the sweetest kid you know will play your game and be like, I had it. This is stupid. I don't understand what's going on. I'm like, and you need that feedback for game design, for art, for narrative. Like, the longer you spend looking at something or thinking about something or working on, your little cousin is nice, but I guarantee you, creator, hey, the little cousin will tear your stuff apart if you give them the chance. But like any creative field, anything that needs feedback, kids are the best source for that.
Yep.
But there's a sweet spot.
I showed my kid this painting right over here.
Yeah.
It's like a spoon with a blueberry in it. And he got mad at me when I told him he couldn't eat them. Huh. So, like, mission accomplished. All I heard was, yes, it looks very realistic, Mummy.
There's a sweet spot. There's a sweet spot, because he's on the wrong side of that sweet spot. Like, there's a point where they're going to be like, they're going to critique your art, but they're going to critique it for the wrong reasons. Like, why can't I play with that skull character? Like, so on this side of the sweet spot, you have like, they don't really understand how things work enough to give you creative feedback. Then there's the horrible person who will tear your stuff apart, but give you information will help you get better. And then you have the opposite side of the sweet spot, where they've like developed a little bit of a social compass, and they kind of understand the value of being nice, like about people's creatives.
So it'll be like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah, the "Are you sure?" is still just enough in there. That's a buffer. You can still squeeze good information out of them. But once they get to the
Oh, no,
point
no,
where they're just
no,
like,
no. As soon as they've heard, "Yes, I'm sure," then they're like, "This sucks, this sucks, this sucks, you're
"Oh, well,
trash."
in that case, you should stop doing this forever. You're terrible, and there's no point." Like, but they're like,
Yeah.
once they get past a certain age, you're not going to get the best feedback out of them. But there's that magical place, and I couldn't give you an age range because it's a little different for every kid. But
Yeah.
like, if you can find a kid who's in that sweet spot, you will get the best feedback possible out of them.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. Yo, I'm having so much fun with your sketch.
I really,
Yaga!
I really like this panda guy. Man, if I had designed this world to be like kind of an armor-clad sort of story, he would be there in a heartbeat. That's so good.
Right?
I like that. That's really cool.
Oh my
Solid concept.
gosh. Yaga, why is this sketch so freaking good?
This guy down here, who did this one?
Amazing.
We got one down on the lower left corner. Do we know who did that?
On the first one?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get there so the stream will show it. Oh no, I don't know. They're gone probably, which sucks, but
because
like,
that's a really interesting design. I like that character a lot. That's a really cool design. It's got a
yeah.
nice, clean, simple costume, which is ideal. The flames are doing a little bit of work in terms of mimicking hairstyle and character development. Like,
Yeah.
it's got a little bit of like a personality to the hair. That's really cool. I like that a lot.
Right?
Very cool.
I'm going right back to this thing. I'm obsessed with this. I don't know if anybody can tell. I'm obsessed with this
Frank's
sketch.
character is just crushing it. I love the
Oh, I
energy.
know. I forgot to look at Frank's
Who
stuff.
did this?
Yes,
Who did
work
Freddy
it,
down here?
Frank.
Who did this Freddy down here? This is awesome.
Wait, which one?
Lower right.
This?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so good.
It is. It is. It works the vibe. This is so the vibe.
And the little mouse is great too. Oh, this is so fun. Basal, I don't know. Oh, that's the person who made it.
That's Meg. Balsamic vinegar. Balsamic vinegar. It's Meg.
Oh,
Just say Meg.
I didn't even come close to understanding what that name was supposed to be.
I know. Everyone on the
Oh.
first shot is always like, "What?" Don't worry about it.
But are you a big fan of geology? Like basalt? Is that like what's the?
No. Balsamic vinegar.
I know now. Now I know, and I'm ashamed.
You know, we should just like attack back because no one can ever say her name on the first go. We should attack back and call her salad dressing.
You're gonna print out a print for your wall. Actually, I'm certainly gonna save this. Just in terms of like ideas, like this is the best thing about working with on a canvas like this. You know, I've had my vision of these characters like in a straight line for a while now, and this puts a nice little curve, like a fork in the road, where I can kind of explore something over here that I hadn't thought about for a second. And that really helps the creative process. For me, it helps the creative process a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. This flux is looking pretty good. I will say. Okay, you're coloring the skull. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. I'm not done. Are you kidding me? It wouldn't be me.
I thought you gave him a standard white bone skull, and I was going to complain. This is beautiful. I don't know.
Right? Like that. This is what I love about this community. Like everything is so. I don't know. Everyone is just so free and happy to contribute.
This is really cool.
And you know, it makes me happy because there was a time I remember when people would like hesitate to draw as much on the canvas. And we did like a thing recently. It was a stream called Wax Crayons and Childhood Memories. And it was literally like I gave people to draw bad. I gave people permission to draw bad. I was like, everyone, I don't care what you draw, just draw and have fun. And ever since that stream, everyone's been so much more keen on like just going in Even if, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, I love that. This is the most cursed, wonderful stuff ever. This is my favorite piece on the board.
Check out
You know, so
check out frame 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over here. We got some really cool stuff going on. B is doing really nice studies of my characters, which, to be honest, I've worked on existing properties for the majority of my life, and aside from my time working on Awkward Love, I've never seen fan art of my own stuff. And this isn't fan art. This is like, you know, community study. But this is kind of nice. Feels kind of good. This is sort of cool. Like, that's one of the weird things that comes from being like kind of a corporate artist is you don't really, your stuff doesn't really get in that sphere.
Let's see. I'm coming.
This is really cool.
Oh,
aren't they good?
They have the body language down.
100%. I love this Ray. This is beautiful Ray. You've got, so it looks like you're leaning on Sway and Flux a lot, and they're both beautiful.
Oh, I love this line of action. Look at that.
This is a lot more like hopefulness and demurity than Sway would. Sway is absolutely a Venus flytrap of a woman. There's very little like, look to the stars, I have hope and love. There's none of that. There's it's definitely like, you want a glass of wine? Come here, big boy. Like that's the energy that you're getting out of Sway.
I love that you gave her like I've smoked for 20 years voice.
I am a huge Eartha Kitt fan, okay? But I love these. Your Flux is great too. This is all good. And I love this over here. This has got such good texture, Ari. Holy cow.
You know what? I'm enjoying you enjoying other people's work. Is that weird?
I love art. I love people's art. I love anybody who draws. They are all my favorite people. And this is a great community full of this. This is really cool. I like that was goopy. Man, this Flux is turning out so cool. Oh, whoa. Wens, what is this? I love it.
I know, right? Just Vens, just like if you take your eyes off of Vens, he just materializes coolness everywhere he goes.
I like that a lot.
Like, it's not fair. Like, I'm so jealous of him. Like, he's so good.
I did a style matching exercise, which is actually something that any art student that I was teaching, I usually have them do something like it, where I did, you've seen this, the 40-something portraits, self-portraits in different styles.
Yeah.
My Robin Hood one, by the time I got to Robin Hood, which is at the bottom of the page of styles, I was so mentally tired of all of the work that I literally just put like Little John or Baloo in like one of the rhinoceros royal guard costumes. So the little like fringe that he's got on his cloak is exactly the same shape, and I love it. It's so cool.
Oh, nice.
I'll drop it in I'll drop it next to the gods. Just the one. Hold on a second. And if anybody's looking to warm up, by the way, this is a long form project that is phenomenal. Not just for getting like studying other people's shape language and understanding how properties work, but also just to kind of get yourself warmed up before you do any real work. Here we go. My Robin Hood is just Baloo in the Royal Guards, just slightly different color.
Nice. Let me see that. I'm going
panel 5.
Oh, panel 5. Man, we're so many panels in. This is crazy.
I put just mostly me posting crap.
Where is it? Oh, it's here. There it is.
So it's that same sort of like.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
I have so many of these now. I've been doing this as my warm up just to keep fresh for so long. I did a bone actually.
So like, first of all, I can't cartoon. Nevertheless, like style match anything. So I'm extremely impressed. Oh, this is so cool.
Here's my bone style match self portrait.
What the heck?
I love Jeff Smith. Jeff Smith is one of my absolute idols. Adore his work.
Look at you doing eyes that actually have eyes in them. Circles.
I told you this was all just for one style that I was working on. Everything else is It's not industry standard. the hollow eyes. I'll say that much. All right. Yeah, I've been working on getting used to Magma. Since it's a browser-based thing, my quick key, like my natural quick key instincts, have been just murdering my progress on getting good at it. But I'll make sure that I'm at least comfortable enough in the program to do some cool stuff during lessons, or whatever we call them, classes.
They're called classrooms, but they're pretty casual. I'll link you when I'm doing my next one, so that if you're doing some work, you can like casually have it like off to the side somewhere and like know what the vibe generally is. It's a little more, it depends on the teacher, because if you join one of John's classrooms, he's a little bit more I want to say agitated, but it's less agitated and more like he's more lively. He's more of like a let's go, and I'm more of a like, hi everyone, let's have a chat. Today we're going to be, like,
welcome to Draw ASMR.
Yes, pretty much. So
I'm very much a doesn't know when to shut up, likes talking too much.
Well, that's why you work for streams. Like whenever I was thinking of like, okay, I want another ambassador, who do I ask? And I like immediately I was like, I wonder if Mr.Pixels would do it, because he would be perfect. And you are.
I appreciate that. He's wearing a fuzzy sweater. I love it.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I'm so sorry, everyone.
It's more of a Bob Ross vibe. Yeah, okay, I can see that.
Yeah, I'm more of a relaxed, like, yeah, I guess. Who said that? Who's I'm coming for you.
That's Frank.
Oh, it's Frank.
I'm a goofy boy who likes to do stupid voices.
Happy trees.
So the more comfortable I get in this scenario, the more I'm going to do dumb voices, and hopefully, that takes us into a fun place instead of a very annoying place, which is quite common with people who do stupid voices.
So, tell them a bit about your employment history in terms of like voice acting.
So I've done a bit of voice act. So actually, the majority of my work is just commercial stuff. A lot of local commercials. Unfortunately, my desire to get into voice acting has been somewhat directed by the fact that I was born with radio voice. So I'm like, yo, I could totally do lots of fun voices, and I can do, if you're in voice acting, you don't do voices, but you know what I mean? Like, I have a good range. I can do these things. I can be energetic. I can be narrative. And they're just like, sell this product. Tell them to buy it because it's on sale right now. I'm like, damn it. No. So all of my professional voice work is like, act now, don't delay. The sale's going to end before you know it. Like that kind of crap. I want to do other things, but that's just the energy people assume that I have. When it comes to D&D, though, I used to run a lot of campaigns, and for those, I do full radio drama work for my NPCs. I do so between sessions, I'll do kind of partially improv, partially scripted, like long form radio dramas, so people can like listen to storytelling mode, like for between sessions, and kind of get to know the NPCs and understand the story. And so like,
I love your tomes of Otto.
So Otto was actually Otto is in here somewhere. He's in one of these things that I posted. Otto Tomes on panel 4. I did a radio drama that was basically like reading through his journal and exploring the process by which this European traveler came to the United States during the time of the witch trials and turned into the this dimension's first necromancer. So like it was his like fall race and his whole story, and it was all very like super intense and sad and miserable.
You know what's amazing? You know what I love? I love about it is like you listen to it and it's like a totally normal kind of British man that slowly devolves into chaotic madness.
Yeah,
So it's
that
normal
was the
speech
challenge.
patterns and then just like the beautiful way in which like you like break down the different stages of him going more and more mad, but instead of like saying it, you're voice acting it. The cadence changes, your pronunciation of certain words changes, your intonation changes, the where you're putting your inflection on each word changes, like as from the beginning as opposed to the end. And the entire thing, I'm listening to this and I'm going like, I will never be this good.
I had a
Like,
lot of fun with him. I had a lot of that was the whole point of that
no.
character's like audio drama. I kind of wanted to learn how to sort of. So one of the things that some of the voice actors that I really respect can do is to take characters who have very recognizable voices that are clearly them doing a voice, but still add these emotional inflections and these transformations over seasonal content, but still keep it sounding like that character. Like Mark Hamill's great at that. Tara Strong is great at that. And I like that was basically me training for that in a world for a magical world where I somehow become a full-time voice actor, which is, pie in the sky glory days.
I would love for you to get that kind of opportunity. That would be sick.
I think my dream job really is just to be an audiobook narrator for something like truly static, like a like a bio, like an autobiography of somebody, something that's just like, and that day is when I found out that I would forever be a sewer worker. This was the beginning of a new journey for me. Like something that's very like
something that's mundane and like
just,
everyday, like
yes, completely boring. Just like, and take it so seriously. That's my goal in life, is to do that. The
oh
day
my
I
goodness.
first picked up that broom was the day my life changed forever. Janitorial
So like,
work, here I come.
for people who don't know, like I have never been in voice acting except for like one of my friends, Nico, who has actually been here as a guest as well. Like basically took me on to be one of his main characters in his like little mini series. And I keep sending them to poor Mr.Pixels over here who has to listen to these things just because he's my friend and I make him. And I'm trying
Very
to
good. It's very good
at
work.
some point I'm trying to glean information from him as much as I can when I can. Because like dang. Yeah.
Is there a place that I should post? I can put the Diary of Autotomes in here somewhere if there's a place. It's not the right channel for this. This is the right server for it though.
Yeah, I don't think that's the right server for it. If you personally want a copy of the Autotomes, are you okay with getting DM'd?
Yeah, totally. That's fine.
Yeah, okay. So Mr.Pixels is in the Discord. You should be able to find him. If you want to click on his account and message him, you can probably do so. Go to the single player art text channel and scroll up just a little bit and you'll find him. You're gonna get like
I am loving this guy.
You're gonna get bombed with messages.
That's fine.
And hopefully someone with a job in mind hears it. Maybe.
That's not. I'm
most likely not, but they're just really good. They're just amazing. So whoever's gonna like ask those of you, you're in for a treat because it's super fun. They're awesome.
Ooh, oh, I just noticed this gag up here. Who did this? It's on page 2.
Which one? Page 2.
That's really cool. I like that sort of
I think that was Andy.
It's really cool. I like that a lot. It's got this kind of like great kind of.
Oh, all right, Creator Boy. Bye.
Oh, bye, Creator.
He's the one that did all the cursed art. So he's
I've been following.
Yeah,
I've been following the fuzzy sweater is the best part.
Oh, so good. So good.
Yeah, that's really good. Andy, I like that a lot.
I love this. Oh, so good. So good. Just love all this. Like, this is so nice.
I love the weight to your inks, Vens.
He
It's
has such
really
good
cool.
line quality, and
Mm-hmm.
like just the way that he makes his shapes is so appealing. Like Vince is just like, ugh, it's disgusting. Like truly, it's he's
It's really cool.
disgustingly
It's
good. It's
beautiful
not
stuff.
fair.
Beautiful,
And when I
beautiful
say
work.
not fair, I mean earned with hard work.
Frank's
His
still
hard
over
work.
here perfecting his. This is so good. Frank, well done. Holy cow.
Dang. Nice. You know
This
what?
this
I
little guy is
love
so
this.
terrifying.
I love this. Oh, that was Andy again.
Yeah.
But I loved the sketch even more. But this final version is really great too. But something in your sketch was like really, it was really, really nice, Frank. Like this is like this is great. Something about the sketch, like when you made the sketch, it was so there was flowiness to it that I
there
really appreciated.
it's really, really easy to lose energy between sketch and line when you're cartooning. It's really easy to lose it. Which is why a lot of really cool stuff coming out of the concept art world right now is very loose. Because loose concept has so much just kinetic quality to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm working on. Let me see if I can find this. I'm just gonna toss it on top of some of this other stuff I posted. Where did I save that stuff? I have, by the way, terrible file organization. It's not one of my skills.
Aww.
It is certainly not one of my skills. Here we go. So I'm working on, and these are kind of stiff, so these aren't great. But I'm working on some action poses for. He was called Frank. His name is Freddy now. For this guy, he's in page 5.
Oh, nice.
So I'm working a little bit on some energy drawings, and you do lose a lot of energy between like sketch and like the sketches for these poses felt so much better than the actual line work, and I'm working on that because again still sort of working on the style, but he's starting to feel pretty good. I really like the jump that I did.
Yeah.
He turned out pretty good.
I love, like I've said this to you before, but I love the way you do hands. They're just so, there's like there's a feel to them. Like I can't express it well, but there's a feel to them that I really love.
If you'll notice, between these poses, I was still working on deciding whether or not I wanted him to have 3 or 4 fingers on 4 or 5 fingers. I'm still out. Jury's still out on that. I don't know what do you think, chat? Should we go with 4 or 5 fingers? Because I can't decide.
The poll is out.
Um,
Let us know.
but if anybody wants really, really good, like the best possible reference for hands, and this is my hand Bible. If anybody's seen the Iron Giant, the main character Hogarth, the lead character artist for Hogarth, posted a 4 because it'll be easier on your sanity. Yeah, that's kind of why a lot of people do 4 fingers. But anyways, if you look up Google Images, real gods have 6 fingers. How dare you, Yaga? I refuse.
I've never laughed so impulsively on a stream in my life, Yaga. That's hilarious.
I'm gonna see if I can. Oh, bye. I'm gonna see if I can find this in the wild really quick. Hogarth.
Do it quick, because we're 3 minutes over time, actually.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Oh, no.
time flies when you're having fun. So we're gonna be ending here shortly. Thank you, everyone. This is amazing. I'm so impressed by everyone's stuff. Where did you paste it? Wait. Oh, this slide.
Can I not copy and paste from the internet? Is that not a thing?
You have the privileges too. Yes, you can copy paste. You've been, I mean, shouldn't be a problem.
No dice.
Oh, no worries, Vince. We'll see you later. We're so honored that you came. You did such wonderful sketches. Love to see it. Ugh. Why is it so good? It's not fair, Vince.
Okay, it's not posted. It's not
I'm
going to
just
post.
filled with jealousy for Vince's skill set.
Oh, he's incredible. Incredible work. Anyways, it's not letting me copy and paste, so I'll just say if you go on
All
Google and just
good.
type in Hogarth hands, you'll find Iron Giant reference sheets by the main Hogarth artist. His hands are fantastic. There's something about the hands that he draws that are so expressive and they're full of energy and they're so good. So if you're ever looking for hand reference, just Hogarth hands Google image search. You're good.
Yeah.
And you can find people who like made big sheets of them because they are like the best hands in the animated industry ever. But yeah, that's my last piece of advice since I didn't realize we were so over time. Sorry, guys.
No worries. No worries. So we're going to head off, but I'm just really glad I was able to introduce you to this beautiful, wonderful community. And
So
we
good.
shall see you in the future.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.